All right, in this video, we're going to go through the Alien ALR-460 reader, which when you buy this as part of the Brady ATA production system, and you buy it from ID Integration or from Brady, you'll get it pre-installed on the Android reader. The interface from ID Integration will look like this with the Brady icon in the lower left. And then next to it, you'll see in red an Alien demo program that you can use for general inventory purposes. It's actually quite useful for knocking around, but it doesn't do anything related to ATA. So we're going to start by opening up the ATA Tag Assistant program. Again, this is the handheld version, not the desktop version. With this one, you can actually encode tags, not just validate them, but encode them. And as it pops up, you'll see different options here. We have at the top reading, which is probably the most normal usage mode for maintenance repair facilities. They're going to read an existing tag and add a part history record to it. But the next three are actually intended for new production. So if you really want to create a tag from scratch, you can do that. And then the last one is for cloning a tag. Where something comes in, but it's physically damaged, the chip is still readable, and you want to clone it and pre-print it so that it looks nice, but you want to use the old data. Okay. Now, these are a very few list of settings. There's actually quite a few more. And if we click on the setting cog here, we'll type in the password of 123 as a default password. And that'll show us that we can enable a whole bunch of other options here. You can set power, like you can for the TSL reader in the desktop. The Alien reader can adjust its power up to 30 dB here as well. And you'd raise and lower that if you want to, again, filter out a large population of tags to just the one that's in front of you. You'll also see a bunch of other options here. There is an option for, this is barcode scan parser. There's an ATA version and a DoD version. We'll go through that in a separate video. That basically says, how am I going to interpret this data matrix code that I might be scanning to fill out a form? If you take a look at what I've disabled here, I've disabled a whole bunch of 2013 spec items. And let's put them back on and you can see what the impact is to the front screen. Now that's great. It has a lot more options, but for day in, day out use, it's just going to confuse your end users if you throw too many things at them. So it's better to go in here and show them only the options that you want that work cell to be having access to. Okay, so we're going to take the 2013 options back off, and you'll see the list as I started with. So let's go ahead and show how this works. We're going to go ahead and just append a part history record. So we will click read, we will pull the trigger, and what we'll see are the couple tags in our vicinity. And normally these would show as hexadecimal strings. They don't really mean anything to the human eyeball. So this program will actually convert them into what's called a URN format. And what it will show is that they are ATA tags. That's the ADI-var. That's what that indicates. Then there's a filter code that indicates if it's a pallet, life vest, seat, emergency equipment, then followed by the cage code, possibly the part number, and then the serial number. So you can see there's two periods there. This indicates that this is a construct one tag. There is no serialization within part number. Therefore, it's not in the RFID value for the EPC memory bank. That's what we're reading here with this one, is only the EPC bank. So we'll select a tag, hit next, and it'll now go to the user bank, and we'll read all of the information that's in there. And that's a much, much, much bigger tag. Memory space. So it's 4,096 words for the high memory one. And that space will be substructured into different regions. The birth record is written once and then locked. You can never change it. So you'll notice there's no add button. There's no edit button on this. It'll show you the values of this part when produced. Then there's a current data record, which could show some modifications, things that would be added during part history record time, or in this case, maybe a current data record. So that gets overwritten each time. There's also a scratchpad record where you can input free-form information, notes that might be not per an ATA spec, but still of interest. And then finally, a part history record. And again, this is the maintenance and repair process. We're going to show how that works here. You could do any one of these different tasks. And we're going to say removed. And with each one of these tasks, there's a form that identifies the company that's doing it, the date that they're doing it, the service level, all kinds of different parameters they might record here. And you could do this manually by tapping on the virtual keypad on this Android device, but it's very small keys. You can make a lot of errors just because you're a human. And so a more automated way of doing this is by scanning a barcode that contains all of these individual data segments all put together into one little barcode scan. And that's what we're going to show in the next video.